Welcome back, welcome back. Now that the 240 is wrapped, the last thing to do, well, there's a few things, but one of the major last things to do is the interior. We're gonna fully gut the interior. We're gonna dye everything black. We're gonna wrap the door cards. We got new seats, quick release steering wheel, Alcantara suede steering wheel with matching stitching. So we got these old seats coming out. And got the back seats out as well, and I'm working on dyeing them, so I've already dyed the seat bottom. Now I just gotta do the back. What I'm using is this right here. It's a leather and vinyl dye, so we're gonna use that on the interior. You just basically rub it on. 4 coats later, it's good to go. And these are the new seats that we got going in. So we got purple stitching, diamond cross stitching, and it's a full carbon fiber bucket. But because I want to keep this car usable, I'm keeping the back seats in it so we can take more people to car shows and drifting and all that sort of stuff. It's going to be multi-use car, not just straight drifting. This one will slide forward and backwards, and it has reclinability as well, so it can fit different drivers or just let people in and out of the back. So I'm pretty stoked on that. Bottom of the seats nice and black now. We also got passenger side door card out, and I'm going to peel this off. Got some fresh black Alcantara suede to go on those door cards. Lots of stuff happening, and we're gonna mix up some RIT dye, and we're gonna spray the carpets with that. But first of all, they need to be cleaned. They're pretty nasty. Check this out. So now that I got the seats and the center console stripped out of it and everything, clear that these carpets need a good scrubbing. Ton of excess wire that needs to get gutted and stripped. Same with the door. Like I said, one door card's off. We'll pull this one off right now. Same thing, going black here. This is all going black. Steering wheel is gonna come out right now too. So we're just gonna strip everything, and then we'll do a full custom trunk at a later date. But we also gotta get a hydro handbrake installed. So first things first, gotta clean this and get these carpets dyed, get everything dyed and ready to go. And then we can mount the hydro, run the lines underneath the carpet, drill some holes in the back there, and then connect it to the existing brakes. So it is an inline hydro that we are using. This door never stops dinging. It's driving me crazy. But yeah, I think I'm gonna pull the steering wheel out first here, and then we'll get to dyeing the seat back and the carpets after some serious cleaning, scrubbing, shampooing, get everything perfect. So once we pop that cover off the steering wheel, just gotta pull that nut, get the steering wheel off of here. So I'll do that now. So you loosen it most of the way off, and then keep it on so that when you reef on the steering wheel or use a steering wheel puller, you don't end up bashing yourself in the face. So I'm just gonna see if I can give it a few good smacks, whacks, and then hopefully it'll pop off. So once I pulled the steering wheel off, it had this for a clock spring. Unlike every other one I've seen online, there's no metallic clock spring kind of thing, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to use the horn, but basically still have wiper controls. This energy short hub just pops on, and we'll put the nut back on, crank it down, and these wires would be for the horn, but there's nowhere to connect them to. Disconnect that clock spring, and this wire here, the second one, green with a stripe, actually it's, yeah, that one there, is the horn wire. Once you ground it out, it does turn on, but if I connect it to either of these, those are grounds. So if I connect it to either of these, those are grounds, and it just turns on. So I'm not sure how to run that without basically going off all the time. So I'm just not going to worry about it for now. I don't really need a horn. So we're just going to tuck those in, put the nut on, impact the crap out of it because you definitely don't want that coming off. And then you'll bolt your quick release to here, and then you bolt your steering wheel onto the face of that quick release. Pretty straightforward. I just popped this off just to see what it was going to be like and if I needed to get in there, but put that back together with the top piece, just a bunch of screws that go up underneath. But yeah, I'm going to bolt this on, bolt on the quick release, and then bolt the steering. Steering wheel is now officially on. This D&D steering wheel with the cross stitch in purple quick release, just like that. Matches our drift button there. So I'm gonna get all those tools out of here, and then we're gonna work on cleaning these carpets because they are nasty, and get to dyeing them. Got it all vacuumed. Now let's hit it with some interior cleaner. Just hose the hell out of it. And then we'll scrub it with a brush and a rag and get her looking new. And we'll get it dyed. Just working on the passenger area for now. I might do the back later, or I might just replace it. Yeah, vacuumed up pretty good, but there's definitely some staining and stuff that needs to get got before we dye it. All in all, not too bad though. So I'll check back in once I got this scrubbed and cleaned up. It's gonna look good though, and then we'll get on to dyeing all the dash and everything. I already started doing some leather and vinyl dye. Those are gonna look so sick. Haven't decided on the wing yet, but some of the door sills that I took off and the fuse box cover, hit it with this vinyl and leather dye here. Coloring bomb, yummy. And then the back seats, same thing. I did just rub it on with a rag, and then I still got to oil them up, clean them up to get it to be shiny again, like that one. But I touched up some spots in there so you can still see it's dull there, and that center section is dull. But once you oil them up, grease them up with some, I used Mother's Protectant, and it shined up really nicely. You can even use just regular like olive oil or something, but to get it rehydrated. But those are gonna look good going back in. There's the stock seats that I pulled out. I did a test panel on that, and it looked really good. So yeah, let's get this carpet cleaned. And then, yeah, be able to start dyeing the rest of the vinyl inside, and then start reinstalling. It's looking pretty clean. There's a few little rust stains in certain spots. Again, that can't seem to get out really, but it's a hell of a lot better, and I'm hoping the dye will kind of take care of all that anyway. She's definitely looking way fluffier, way better, way freshened up. So we'll get to boiling this dye. It's this RIT dye. Now, where did I put that? 1 second. This stuff. So you boil some water, get it red hot, or a certain degree anyway. And then for this type of carpet, I believe you add salt into the mix as well. Maybe some dish soap, if I remember correctly. I'll have to read the instructions again. Mix it all together. Spray it while it's hot so it leaches in, and then probably give it a couple coats. We'll see what it looks like. We'll see. Everybody says just buy new carpets. They're fairly cheap. Yeah, but we were trying to do a budget-ish build on this car, and we blew the budget on the engine and a bunch of other things. So we're already way over budget. And it's not that big of a deal. Just a little elbow grease and some cheaper products like these dyes to get this leather looking good and dyes to get the carpet looking black. Everything's still in great shape. Why not just make it the color I want it, black out the interior, make it a little more modern for pretty much next to nothing but some blood, sweat, and tears. So let's get into that. I'm gonna get some dye made up and we'll start spraying, see what it does. So I made about 4 liters of boiling water, added some soap and some vinegar and some salt. Apparently that helps it soak into rayon and other fabrics better. And then I poured the half the bottle of dye into about 4 liters of water, and then poured it into here, which blew out the bottom and melted the plastic a bit, but here goes nothing. See how it goes. Not too bad. It's definitely darkening it up. All right, check back soon. Well, 1 bottle down, and it's definitely looking darker immediately, but it actually has to like soak in and dye compared to the other side. So I'm gonna refill this thing because I made like 4 liters, so this is not even 1. And the sprayer died, so I had to steal one from something else, but she's getting dark. It's definitely gonna take 2-3 coats probably. It should be good. It's looking a little more brown than anything at the moment. Other side done. Little pooling of dye on the rubber, but we'll soak that up after. Let it sit for a bit, give it a scrub, and dry out, and then probably hit it with another round, and hopefully it darkens up a bit more yet. So let that sit for a bit and scrubbed it in. Still not that dark. Might take more time, I don't know. But I dumped the rest of the RIT dye bottle into the water that I had left over, the last 2 liters or whichever. So it's double potency, added some more vinegar, extra strong, and we'll give it a second coat here. Then we'll have to just let it dry and see what happens. Certainly much, much darker with that coat. Definitely still looks light in certain lights and certain spots, but it's actually not. And scrubbing it with a wire brush, trying to work it in, it's brought up some more dirt, obviously, in the carpet that I didn't get out. But it's definitely looking darker. It's really weird though, like it looks dark and then you see light spots like right there. But it's just the way the light catches it. And there almost looks super light, but again, it's just the lighting coming in. So once it soaks in, it might get worse, might get better. We'll just have to wait and see. A little bit left, and we probably got another bottle's worth out on the stove, so give it another round or 2, see what we can do. So I quickly pulled the glove box out as well while I was sitting there staring at this, wondering if it was gonna go black. And this was light like that, and I just soaked it, and it's looking really good. So yeah, this stuff does work, especially on suede. Like that was super quick and painless. 1 coat, whatever I had left in the bottle, and it's looking pretty good. Just gonna let that sit for a bit, but yeah, I'm stoked with that already. Definitely gonna look way better inside here. Look at that, just getting darker by the moment. That's what doesn't do it any justice. It looks super light. If I close the door. The camera actually like makes it look brighter than it is. Well, definitely a lot darker now. I just put the last bit of the dye that I had on it. I dried it with the blow dryer and soaked it again. And it's definitely dark. The way that it looks kind of blotchy is just like the way carpet is when you vacuum it, and it looks shiny or a different color one way and then different again the other way. So there's not much I can do about that. But like, yeah, it changes color slightly depending on which way you run the carpet. So certain ways make it look darker and nicer. I'll give it 1 good scrubbing just to even all the dye out, hopefully, and just let it dry overnight. We'll check again back tomorrow. So the RIT carpet dye pretty much just turned it green. I don't know if I would need to do something different or another few coats or something, but I didn't like it. It smelled like vinegar, salt and vinegar, because that's the things you add to it. But I ended up getting some of this vinyl and fabric spray paint basically, and it worked phenomenally immediately. Definitely a strong odor to this too. I might do the dash and everything with it now too, so let's have a look at the carpet. It looks a lot better. The lighting makes it look dirty, but that's just where it's brighter and lighter, but it's quite nice now. And the black leather, and then the sides that I dyed with the leather dye are still looking fairly blue, so I think we'll hit it with some of this as well. But I gotta tape everything off, which is gonna be the most pain in the butt part. And then same thing with the dash. I don't feel like pulling it all out, so I'm gonna remove the steering wheel, remove as much as I can, and spray it. And just like that, this is all sprayed out and black now. Taped off, sprayed. Now I just gotta do the door cards and start figuring out all the wiring mess that is this, and running the lines for the hydro. Then everything can go back in. A little before of the door cards here. That's gotta go black. The whole thing's gotta go black. That suede is coming off because it's already peeling. And yeah, then I got some fresh black Alcantara suede to go on there, so that should be interesting. Got some Gorilla Glue spray adhesive that should help hold it down, plus it is a peel and stick back. So yeah, I already sprayed some of these other plastics, the door sills, center console, kick plates, all this sort of stuff. So things are looking good. Should all come back together quickly now. So I got a little sidetracked because I can't put the interior back in until I plumb up the hydro and the stereo wiring and all that sort of stuff, because it's going to be under the floor anyway. But this thing has a serious rat's nest of wiring. It must have had an insane stereo in it before. So now I'm detangling all of this wires, and it's insane. Check this out. There's just wires ran everywhere. I've already pulled out all of this. Like, I just need 2 speaker wires ran to the back, a remote, RCAs, that's it. And there's multiple sets of RCAs. There's these purple and a green wire that's running to like the lights inside, and then the brake lights, I think, back there. So those ones I'm gonna keep because I'm not really sure where they're all tied into. And then there's just a disaster everywhere. How come you need this many wires into the door? You don't. And then there's more speaker wires and stuff on that side ran into that door. So I'm gonna pull it all out and start fresh. So I've got a massive pile of wiring out of this thing. It was never ending. Ridiculous. All that. And now, singular speaker wire there. I'm not sure what they did scabbing up all the electrical to make the doors and windows work, so I'm gonna leave that. Single wire in that door. And then 2 speaker wires running to the rear, along with a remote wire, a single RCA instead of 3, because I'm not planning on running a huge system. And then these 2 wires I had to keep because, again, they run to the trunk light and the brake lights of some sort. So I kept that all nice and neat and tidy together now. And then I ran the lines through for the hydro. Through there and up under the dash for the front one, and then into here, along with all the wiring down through the center to the back, and then it tees off. It fits nicely right here. There's a little drop off, so it sits nicely right underneath there, so it's protected. And then teed off, ran into the floorboards, and then ran to the back. But I happened to break one of the banjo fittings, so I just had to go and order those. But I think we're in good shape. I'm gonna clean this out, give it another vacuum now that everything is dirty again and black. But dash is all black, all the tape, so I take a few things off, but everything's black now. It's looking really good. Steering wheel's back on. Should be able to mount the seats properly, work on the door cards, get the center console and everything back in and good to go for now until I get those rear brake lines. But yeah, I gotta get these door cards done still, everything back in, and then we should be in really good shape. There we go. 1 seat, all new hardware, and then factory hardware to the floor installed. Lots of leg room. I actually got to go forward. Back seats are installed, looking nice. Everything's looking nice and black. Just got to get the second seat in. Door cards. Oh yeah. Center console. Finish all that up. Moving along nice. I seem to have forgotten a very important part. The seatbelt section on the inside. Okay, back to the drawing board. Well, I am done for the day. Calling it. Tomorrow's a new day. We should be able to get this interior done tomorrow. And I'm just still gonna wait on that brake line part. I gotta fix the valve cover leak, a couple other minor things, but interior is looking good. One downfall is I bought these seats thinking I could recline them and lean them forward so people could get in the back seat. Well, they do recline all the way, like flat, which is cool if I want to take a nap, but to get my kids in the car, not so much. So, not much room there. But they look good. Everything's looking good. Still got to obviously finish that up and the stereo stuff and the doors, blah, blah, blah. But there's no getting through that and fully forward. These hit here. So you can't really get in. Anyway, signing off for the night. Seats are bolted. Seat belts are figured out. All new hardware and everything. Everything's super sturdy. Glove box is back in. Everything's all black and beautiful. Hell yeah. Alright, so we're back. Working on these door cards. I peeled the old fabric off. And then this was underneath it. Quite thick, stitched in the corner. And was stuck right to the panel. Okay, got her laid out. It's easier than I thought it was going to be, but one downside is you waste a lot of material, so we're not going to have enough to do the other door card. So that sucks, but finish this one up. I'm going to cut around the edges now that I've tucked it a bit, hit it with a knife, peel the rest, and then cut out the door handle pockets. Let's see what it looks like. And there we go. One door card back in, speakers properly hooked up. Looking damn good in here now. Everything is black and matching. Just gotta finish some stereo stuff. Damn, no longer looks like a 91 car, that's for damn sure. Loving this. Can't wait to have this thing on the road, ripping e-brakes. Whoop whoop. Okay, one door card in and finished. Center console all bolted back up. Stereo all rewired. Steering wheel in. Quick release. Hydro handbrake. Drift button if we want to use this handbrake. Other door card in. Speakers all wired up. Seats installed. This still needs to be replaced, but I did spray it black for now until we get more Alcantara and make it as soft as this. Man, is that ever soft. Back seats finished, rear speakers installed. Now we just have a custom trunk to make at some point, but she is coming along nicely. It is like a whole new car in here. I do also want to replace this deck. Apparently it does not even have Bluetooth, so I might go doubled in. Then I lose that tray, and this thing's already hard on storage, so we'll see. But so far, loving this. These seats are super comfortable, hold you nice and tight. Everything is matching. Alcantara suede. Black, purple, 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 pinky purple. All right. Well, there we have it. Another episode down of modernizing my S13's interior. If you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. 99.5% of you are not subscribed, so hit that button, and we'll see you in the next one.